Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Wednesday, December 18, 2024. I wanted to come here and share the story of this mission that NASA is about to do or planning on doing the next coming days. But before I continue, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been listening and using a Spotify. Please don't forget to follow me on Spotify. It really helps me as a creator. And of course, thank you so much to everybody who's listening using YouTube, and thank you so much for subscribing and watching this video. So you guys, when I first learned about this mission, the new mission from NASA, I was like, why are they even trying that? I don't know what it is. It's like some things are just not for us to go there. I think if God wanted us to reach this part of the universe, He would have made it more accessible instead of just putting it at the highest top and making it incredible hot for our own temperature, which is for our own good, right? So let me read to you guys. NASA has a new mission and is to touch the sun. Okay, NASA new mission is to touch the sun. I'm gonna read to you guys the details because, like I said, when I first read this, I was like, oh boy, why are we even trying this, right? NASA is preparing to go where it has never gone before. It says here the agency prepares to send a space probe to touch the sun. And it says here, let me see if I can get more information. 6 years of waiting will come to an end in the next weeks as NASA Parker Solar Probe make its final approach towards the sun, thanks in part to Katherine Johnson IBMB facility in Fairmont. Okay, so they've been waiting 6 years to basically launch this mission to reach the sun. And now it's coming, like 2025 is gonna be amazing. I'm laughing because, like I said, if God's plan was for us to reach the sun, I mean, as far as I know, the sun is very high. It's what keeps us warm during the day, right? And it has its purpose. It's very hard for our human nature. So why? And it's far away. So why would anybody want to go there? You know what I mean? If that was God's plan, He would have made it more accessible for us to even think about going there, right? But here we are, right? Here we are. So let me continue to read. The Parker Solar Probe already became the closest man-made object to the sun in 2018 when it was 26.5 million miles away from the sun. 26.5 million miles away from the sun. Like, how are they able to measure this, right? However, that was more than 6 years ago, and by Christmas Eve, which is next week, the probe will be just 3.8 million miles from the sun surface. Okay, the mission, let me see here. NASA Ashley Greeley said about the mission and put the distance between the probe and the sun into perspective. Okay, she said, "Correct. I know 3.8 miles doesn't sound like it's very close. Both the Earth and the sun are 93 miles apart from each other. So if you put the sun and the Earth at the opposite end of the football field, probe is on the 4-yard line," says one of these representative from NASA. Her name is Ashley Greeley, which she spoke to this article that I'm reading about. But why would scientists want to get close to the sun? That's the question that I had. Why even go there? Like I said, if that was God's plan, it would have been more accessible. I mean, as far as I know, the temperature of the sun is just, I'm sure we're going to find out in this article. Why would scientists will want to even go close to the sun anyways? And how is the proof staying intact under temperatures of, like I said, we're gonna find out the temperatures in the millions degrees of Fahrenheit? When it's June here in Connecticut, I'm laughing because this is it's just crazy. When it's the summertime here, I mean, once it reached like 101 degrees, like, I'm like, I don't want to even go anywhere because it's so hot. Like, I get a headache. As you know, people start sweating, and it's just, when it gets super hot, you can actually like see like smoke. It's kind of hard to describe it, but I'm sure you guys experience it. And it is so dry, and it's so humid, and it's just crazy. At 101 degrees, imagine millions of Fahrenheit degrees, okay? I understand, guys, I'm not stupid. I understand they're not gonna just show up like with regular clothes, right? They won't get too far, even close to it. But it's just, I don't understand the purpose of this. Like, why are you knocking on that door? That's my whole point. Why are you even knocking on that door, right? So to start, the Parker Prof is protected by a 4.5-inch thick carbon alloy shield. The probe hides behind this shield like a cosmic umbrella, keeping the temperatures behind it incredible low, only about 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which is still a little warm, I think, to me. So as I'm reading this, you know what's coming to my mind? It's that thing that they brought to near the Titanic, I think it was last summer, that the remote control to the submarine that went down to the Titanic, that everybody who was in it passed, right? I made a couple videos about it last year. And as I'm reading this and describing to you guys this, how it's being made and how it's going to be protected from the temperatures, that's what's coming to my mind. That Titanic submarine, right? And how people were talking about how the submarine had no chance of surviving in the middle, down in the bottom of the ocean because of the way it was made. And the remote control looked like a Nintendo remote control. It's just crazy that there are things that you shouldn't be, like God set the rules in the garden in the beginning, right? He said, you can eat out of everything here, but don't eat out of this tree. And I know humans were so curious and we always want to seek more and this and that, but like I said, he would have made it more accessible for us, right? I don't think it's not for humans it's not for us to be trying to reach the sun. That's just my opinion. I don't understand the reason behind this, right? I don't understand the reason behind this. It's just, when I first learned about this, I'm like, why are they even trying? Like, you think about the ocean, right? How we have, if we want to go near the ocean, we have access to it. And even the ocean tells us that it's so big and so deep and all of that, it's still like, I'm not counting storms or nothing like this, right? It's still, you see how the waters come to the sand and then they don't go past a certain point, Everything is like, God created everything perfect, right? To serve its purpose on this earth. I don't understand the whole point of this. You can please share your opinion, right? If you're listening to this or watching this. So they're saying, the temperature is going to be about 85 degrees inside, right? By keeping the probe protected, scientists can study phenomena like solar flares, solar wind, coronal mass ejection, and more unprecedented details. It's 2025 almost, right? I think we've been doing pretty good without having to reach the sun, right? I don't see the point of this. They're trying to justify the reason of going there, right? A space program continues to move deeper into space, like the ongoing NASA Artemis program, which will run humans to the moon. That's another story that I'm not going to talk about. about their first trip to the moon, I guess you can say. Understanding solar weather will be a crucial part of keeping astronauts safe while they are away from Earth. Speaking about the ones that are stranded right now, the plan was to bring them back. The ones that are stranded in space right now, they're supposed to come back by February. Now they're saying it's gonna take even longer than that. So, okay. So as the PSP orbits the sun, it must be shield facing the sun at all times. Even the smaller amount of deviation will be enough to damage the probe or render completely inoperable. The smallest amount of deviation will be enough to damage the probe. The high degree of precision required to keep the probe running is exactly what makes a facility like the Katherine Johnson so important. It says here that, let me just read, I'm sorry. As well as more than a dozen other NASA projects. It says here the office lead John Ryan as the system engineer at the facility, and he said, "We are very hands-on with the development of teams in making sure that software is going to execute correctly." In a nutshell, they're trying to make sure that the probe will do what it's supposed to do, and what's supposed to happen during a mission goes off without a hitch, even if the conditions are less than ideal. Okay, besides the Parker Solar Probe, IVMV has worked on crewed flights to and from the International Space Station, the Artemis mission, Orion, and many more. But going to the sun, okay, it sounds so weird even saying it, but going to the sun might be one of the most extreme missions, you will think, right? All these missions, he says, quote unquote, all these missions are so exciting that the big thing when you have something that's going to almost touch the star, how awesome is that we're part of that, okay? So I'm trying to see what people are saying about it. I'm trying to see more information. Well, I'm not seeing comments from people about this, but let me just see what else I can read to you guys about it. Excuse me. I think the whole thing is just, very, very interesting. Like, what's the reasoning behind that, Let me just give you one more update about this plan of NASA, and this is, like I said, this is gonna happen next week, right? It's called the Parker Solar Probe. Okay, they got close enough in 2018 August, and now they're gonna try again. So they were, actually, it says here that they were not announcing this time last year, saying that by 2024, it was gonna happen. No human made object will have moved so far, nor indeed got so close to our star, just 6.1 million kilometers or 3.8 million miles from the sun's surface. We are basically almost landing on a star. This will be a monumental achievement for all humanity. This is equivalent to the moon landing of 1969. I think it's very interesting, everything that's happening with the drones, everything that's happening in this world right now, and now this is launching next week. And they're saying, like it never been, like it's gonna be like the moon landing. The U.S. Space Agency's Parker Solar Probe is one of the most audacious missions ever conceived. The late 2024 maneuver will take Parker to just 4% of the Sun-Earth distance. The challenge Parker faces is doing this will be huge. Parker's strategy is to get in quick and get out quick, making measurements of the solar environment with a suite of instruments deployed behind a thick heat shield. The reward researchers hope will be breakthrough knowledge of some key solar processes. So that's why so they're just gonna send that they call it the Parker Prof. They're just gonna send that thing into close enough to the sun to do some measurements. They're saying it's just gonna be a quick thing, right? So from what I'm reading, they're not gonna have any astronaut in there, right? But they still have to keep it at 85 degrees, I guess, for all the equipment. That way it doesn't, I guess the whole thing wouldn't burn, right? I'm sure they have their plan, but they're saying it's just to measure things. What I'm saying is, what is it that they need to measure? I feel like the thing is, like, once they go in and it's successful, which I'm not wishing nothing bad. All I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out the reason, right? Then they're gonna start sending people over there. That's what I think. I just don't see the point. Like, it's almost 2025. We don't need no measurements, right? We don't need nothing from over there, right? And I just feel like this is just touching to the extreme of, like, what's the whole point? If God, my point is, if God wanted us to go that far, this would have been more accessible. The temperature would have been good for us, and it would have been accessible, because as we know, even the ocean, we know it's deep, but we still have parts of it that we can enjoy, right, in our human capacity. And even if if you go on a cruise and they have the shipping ships and the big ships, I don't want to say Titanic, but they're still able to manage to go into the ocean, right? But it's still, it's not like it's heat that is what they say, millions and millions of degrees in Fahrenheit. So imagine that. But anyways, that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think about this whole thing, and please leave a comment, okay? Have a good day, everybody. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day everybody. God bless.